What is up, guys? This is Jay with Prepared Citizens. Today I want to talk to you about the F-FAK. My company, we've been in business a little over a year now. The F-FAK's been with me since the beginning. The F-FAK stands for Family First Aid Kit. And today I'm just going to go over the contents and why I tell you this is a life-saving piece of equipment. And for anybody out there that don't have a medical kit, if you want to try building your own, you can definitely use this video as a guideline as well. But without further ado, let's jump into the F-FAK. So here's the F-FAK. This is how it would come shipped to you if you buy it brand new. Today everything is brand new in this, obviously, and it will be up to you to unpackage everything and stage it how you want. But I'm going to show you how I kind of set these up, and this way it can kind of help set you up for success. So we go by the March algorithm, and the M in the March algorithm stands for massive bleeding. So when you get an F-FAK, this is how it's going to be when you open it up. Obviously, first things first, the loose things in here that come out will be the tourniquets. I like to stage those to where you can get to these the fastest. Obviously, you would want to put them somewhere where you can get to them immediately. So, tourniquets and your compressed gauze, this is going to be all your massive bleeding equipment, and I just think every kit should come with 2 compressed gauze and 2 tourniquets. We all have 4 limbs, and usually 1 pack of gauze, if you do have to pack something, is normally never enough. You at least need 2, sometimes even more. So definitely consider purchasing more you think you may need it. Our scissors, I still like these Rhino Rescue trauma shears. These things hold up just as good as the big brand, if you know what I mean. I've never seen these fail me yet throughout training, so I'm good with that. So immediately, as you can see, what you immediately get to covers massive bleeding. So for airway, naturally, that's going to be the second most life-threatening thing you would encounter. So I want to be able to get to it immediately after bleeding. Immediately, you're going to notice our MPA. You got the 28 French with the lube. So you're going to be able to get to that immediately next. And also, when it comes to the airway portion of the March algorithm, always consider the recovery position as well. R in March algorithm is respiratory. So this is where you're going to do some complete sweeps over the victim, and this is usually where you would then go into applying chest seals if it's a gunshot wound, and a decompression needle if you are trained to do that. I always like to include this kind of equipment because just because you may not be trained, someone else arriving on the scene with you, like if it's a car accident and someone pulls up behind you, like, hey, how can I help? You never know. They could be a combat medic that just got back that has applied decompression needles multiple times, and they know exactly what to do. So I'd rather have it and not need it when it comes to that. And at this point, you'd also monitor the tension pneumothorax for any odd behavior or anything like that. You want to keep an eye on that situation very closely. Circulation. Circulation, once you've stopped bleeding, once you've dealt with airway, this is where you're going to go over, do a kind of a blood sweep over the rest of the patient, that just to make sure everything is covered. if they have a weak pulse or anything like that, you may need to elevate some limbs or something like that, legs or something. If they don't have a pulse, this is where you would start CPR. The reason CPR isn't the first thing is because massive bleeding will kill you first, 3 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes being very generous. Airway and respiratory issues can be 10 to 20 minutes. So at this point, once all those are covered, now you want to see if they need CPR, make sure they got a pulse, all this good stuff, do a full sweep. Alright, moving on to the H. It's going to be the head injury, hypothermia. I almost skipped over this. We got our emergency blankets here. And we got 2 emergency blankets. We also have silk medical tape. This stuff sticks to about anything. We do have a pressure dressing in here for the less life-threatening bleeding. If something just needs constant pressure applied while you do something else, here we do have it in the back. The reason I put it in the back though is because the pressure dressings are usually going to be applied to something less life-threatening. So this is going to be mainly to monitor something that's already been treated or that will be considered under control in the bleeding realm of things. So for the head injuries, and this can also wrap a head injury obviously too. I guess that was one thing I was thinking of, is this is really good for wrapping a head injury as well. So, and hypothermia, we have 2 emergency blankets. These can be used so many things, but at least having 2 in a kit I think is excellent. We have tape. If you have to, if you know how to make chest seals out of packaging and things like that, you can absolutely do that if you needed more than what's included. But I always like to have tape just to hold stuff in place. Even emergency blankets, if it's windy or something, you can tape these down to the patient and help it stay in place so the wind don't blow it away as well. And last but not least, so some people will put an E at the end of the March word in the algorithm just for everything else. And just a couple of bonus items I want to show you guys that I always include, which gloves ain't really bonus, but I do include 2 sets of gloves. I don't just include 1 set. I have 2 sets. So like in my case, one thing I had in mind was like me and my wife are both trained in all this stuff. So if we both were helping someone, we each have a set of gloves. And in my opinion, I just think that's a good thing. And also want to show you real quick, I do include now a little CPR mask. This helps protect you if you're having to do CPR to someone you don't know. And last but not least, I include one of our boo-boo kits. This has Band-Aids, alcohol prep pads, burn gel, Neosporin, hydrocortisone, and sting relief. So this is basically something that would be really good to have with you while you go hiking or something like that. And it takes care of all the little everything else, the minor stuff, the little inconveniences in life that's don't allow, so you don't have to shut that camping trip down because of a scratch or of a burn or something like that. So that's why I decided to start throwing that in there. Kind of make this the one-stop shop for a medical kit. But that's how I got it laid out. That's the idea behind it. And there's plenty of room, even when this thing is packed out, to include more stuff. So, guys, feel free to use this as an idea to pack your own medical kits, or please consider going to the website, preparedcitizenstg.com, and picking up a fully stocked F-FAK today. Guys, I really appreciate you watching. Hope you all have a good one. God bless.